What's up, TGS? This is Naked Eli, Halo superfan and owner of Naked Halo. I was lucky enough to get an early copy of Halo 4 to review for all the Halo fans out there, and I'm happy to say that this epic new saga finally brings Master Chief back into the fight under the watchful eye of 343 Industries. But does the game live up to the hype? Will series fans still be into the Halo experience in a post-Bungie universe? Here's our review of Halo 4. The story in Halo 4 is absolutely amazing. It finally brings back a sense of wonder that perfectly captured so many players in Halo Combat Evolved. Without divulging any spoilers, the campaign begins very similarly to Halo CE and brings us to a new setting that really lets you feel an epic sense of scale, beauty, and mystery like stepping onto the Halo installation 11 years ago. Although Halo 4 does have invisible barriers in place to prevent you from glitching outside of the maps, you still have plenty of space to explore without getting too far away from the narrative. Speaking of which, that narrative is one of the clearest storylines I've ever seen in a Halo game. I remember getting confused sometimes by the ultra-fast environment switches in Halo 2 and 3, for example, but 4 keeps the pace reasonable and really uses its story segments well to explain what's going on. Cortana's chatter is also helpful for first-time players who might not know what the deal is with all the angry aliens. It's clear that 343 has paid great attention to the lore of the franchise and really delivers on its promise to hardcore fans. So if you're the kind of person like me who reads every Halo book, you're in for a treat during the course of the campaign. I know this might seem like a shallow point, but I have to say, the graphics in this game are really ridiculously good looking. Apparently, the new graphics engine is pushing the 360's processors to the absolute limit, which is great if you enjoy looking at things of ephemeral beauty. The cutscenes look like they could have been live action 90% of the time, and the gameplay lighting and environments are sexier than ever before. Halo's never really been known for its graphics, but this is true high-definition 720p, and it makes the experience even more immersive and exhilarating. The prologue itself gave me goosebumps, and I'm sure that you'll find yourself in awe at how badass Chief's armor looks, how beautiful and human Cortana looks, and drooling over every aesthetic aspect of the game. I want to commend 343 Industries on taking the multiplayer to a new level and really nailing down the game mechanics. Halo 4 feels like Halo. It's a magical feeling of that Spartan who's lightning fast as well as weighty and powerful. The multiplayer experience comes in two forms actually, War Games and Spartan Ops. War Games is the new online matchmaking system that matches you up against other players from free-for-all to 8v8, various game modes, 13 maps with 9 more already on the way. The newest design element is ordnance drops that allow you to choose power weapons and power-ups after earning a certain number of points in a match through kills, assists, and medals. Players also have customizable loadouts to start with whatever primary weapons they've unlocked previously. So in addition to new armor abilities, tactical packages, and support upgrades to choose from, each player has default sprint, and I gotta say that everything feels really balanced. Something a nerd like me appreciates is that War Games is now tied into the story as a training ground for Spartan 4s, the new Spartans that will continue the story 6 months after the events of the campaign. Spartan Ops is a 4-player experience that essentially replaces Firefight and gives the players more objective-based reasons to slaughter the Covenant and Prometheans. Each mission lasts 10 to 15 minutes. You get 5 missions per week for 10 weeks in just Season 1, so it's basically a second campaign for free. Really just a ton of new stuff making Halo feel fresh again. Even though the game is rocking with positives, no game is perfect and there will always be flaws. One in particular is the lack of a competitive ranking system. Anyone can hit max rank now over time, which is great for some players, but it ultimately takes a competitive edge off multiplayer offerings and forces highly skilled players into the casual pool. In this situation, no one is happy. Skilled players get bored spawn killing randoms, casual players get destroyed more frequently, but sometimes casual players like having a ranking system too. It shows their improvement in skill when they put in effort to get better at the game. Without it, I think a lot of people will lose motivation to improve. Essentially, no goal that requires actual mastery will ultimately kill a little bit of the replayability. It's about to get a little uncomfortable in here, but I have to say this, what's the deal with the QuickTime events in single player? They felt forced and didn't really add to the appeal of the storyline for me. QuickTime events work so well in survival horror because it slows down the gameplay and makes us feel helpless. But when I'm Master Chief, I don't want to feel either of those things. I'm the king of the castle, I wait for nothing. So as an added bonus, if you're playing co-op, the screen reverts to the first player who reached the event, while the others are forced to just sit and do nothing. So while I believe that 343 added these QuickTime events to make you feel more agency over the Chief, to me it reduced immersion and it really took away a feeling of control. Finally, I'm sorry to have to drag this out, but the campaign has been stripped of scoring and theater. Scoring allowed us to earn points and medals for killing enemies, and it made the Skull score multipliers really fun to try out. It also activated a timer so that we could see how long we took in a particular mission. And that's what I miss most as a speedrunner. The timer was crucial for knowing how fast you get through each of the sections of the missions. So not only do players not have a shot clock, so to speak, but with no theater, you can't ever save uploads of speedruns, you can't explore maps with the theater camera, and you can't take screenshots for your file share of anything in the campaign. The speedrunning community is going to take a big hit from that, forcing them to use capture cards at all times while hindering artists who take screenshots of beautiful things in single player. I know it's a minor point, but it's something I definitely wish they had in the game. Halo 4 provides an amazing experience for fans both new and old, from its jaw-dropping story to the incredibly fun multiplayer experience. The game delivers on all fronts except in a few small areas that certain communities can only wish will be in the next Halo game. Despite those shortcomings, however, you're looking at one of the most rock-solid shooters of the year and a worthy successor to Bungie's legacy. Halo 4 earns its final score of 9 out of 10.